Mysterious orbs, nefarious drones, glowing lights in the sky over the Arby's. If you've been on social media lately, you've probably heard something about these unidentified aerial phenomena. Although most of them have been on the East Coast, I did in fact spot a drone swarm on Seattle traffic cameras just a few nights ago. However, these drones' origins were decidedly less mysterious. They were part of a halftime show at a recent Seahawks game. I tried to find a closer camera, but this one gave the best view. Now, for those of you new to Seattle, that's the Kingdome rising up there. Although I've never been to a Seahawks game, I do have fond memories of watching the Mariners in the Kingdome, especially their 1995 season, seeing Ken Griffey Jr., Jay Buhner, Randy Johnson, and all the others. My brothers and I actually shaved our heads to get in free for some of the Buhner Buzz nights. If you've been in Seattle long enough to have fond memories of the Kingdome, let me know in the comments because I'm sure that I'm not the only one. I think these drone shows are kind of a cool alternative to fireworks. Although I haven't seen one in person yet, I have spotted a couple on the traffic cameras. Although it's nice to include fireworks too, just for fun. I have captured other, more mysterious lights in the sky. These glowing orbs hovered for hours in formation, slowly drifting across the heavens. Are they something from beyond the Earth? Aliens? Maybe a hunter looking to add another notch to its belt. Or I don't know, maybe it's something more commonplace. From drama in the heavens to drama on Earth, Seattle's traffic cameras capture it all. This July blaze began as a brush fire, but quickly spread to an RV and a number of parked semi-trucks. This zoomed-in shot offered us one of the more dramatic views we've seen in a while. Fire crews quickly poured water onto the fire and brought it under control, but not before a number of high-voltage utility poles caught fire, including one seen in the foreground here. We also see at least one small explosion from something stored in either the trucks or the RV. Eventually, at least 3 of those burning power poles collapsed off camera, leading Seattle City Light to cut power to the area, including to the traffic camera. Power poles and wires lead fraught lives in Seattle. Some of them die of natural causes, like this one that was taken out by a falling tree. And this one, which suffered issues on a blustery day. Most poles, however, end up being victims of Seattle drivers. Truck drivers are a pretty common cause of power pole death. Keep an eye on this rig turning right. It cuts the corner a little tight and cuts this pole off right at the knees. This box truck is a little too tall and ends up snagging this wire before continuing on its way. Now this single truck is about to take out more power poles than the fire I showed you a few minutes ago. It's carrying what appears to be a large sewing machine, I guess. Maybe a giant juicer? Trash compactor? Anyway, the driver pauses for about a minute. Maybe he had a bad feeling about the route ahead. Instead of listening to his instincts, he decided to press forward. I've zoomed the video in. Keep an eye out here for the first power pole to fall. Now amazingly, there were no injuries as this truck pulled 4 to 5 poles down onto busy Aurora Avenue. Here's a quick look at the aftermath. You can see a number of poles down and others leaning precariously. The road was shut down for quite a while as they cleaned up this large mess. Of course, it's not just truck drivers knocking down power poles. Keep an eye on this black car in the right lane. Despite this part of the road being completely straight, the driver drifts off to the right and takes out a power pole, causing a nice light show. I'm not positive what happened here. It looks like maybe this driver in the left lane is panicking, swerving at the last minute to avoid a rear-end collision,
and took out a pole instead. It's almost certainly going to be quite a bit more expensive than if they just bumped the car in front of them. Of course, they could have paid attention to the road and avoided this whole situation completely. Okay, we've talked about power poles, but now we're going to segue into another kind of power, the kind that gets you a police escort through the city. Here's the motorcade for Governor Walz, leaving a downtown hotel during his vice presidential campaign. And it's not just politicians that get the special treatment. This motorcade is for Beyoncé, traveling to Lumen Field for her show last fall. The Seahawks also get police escorts as they travel to and from games, but I haven't caught one of those on traffic camera yet. Okay, we're going to switch from motorcades to convoys, and I'm hoping that one of my viewers can tell me about these trucks. I spotted them in March of this year, but haven't been able to figure out what they're used for. Some of them almost look like they carry grain or plastic pellets, some kind of dried goods, but others look like they carry liquid, and they're all traveling together with flashing lights. Here's a little bit better view from a different camera. It doesn't really matter, but I am curious, so if anybody can shed any light on this convoy of trucks, please let me know in the comments. Now, I originally started watching the traffic cameras to spot fire trucks, so I'd be remiss if I didn't include a few quick Seattle Fire Response convoys to continue our theme. The hazmat team is always good for a convoy as they respond together from Station 10. We've got Engine 10 at the lead, Haz 1, here's Ladder 1, Aid 10, Staff 10, and Air 10 taking up the rear. That car is not part of the convoy. Sorry, buddy. Here's an alternate shot of the convoy heading downtown. Again, not too much to say, just fun to watch the flashing lights. I do wish that I could get audio from the cameras so you could hear the siren show as well, but you'll just have to imagine it for now. Alright, for our last clip, we're going to return to mysterious glowing lights, but this time we'll be earthbound. Our adventure starts just after 4 a.m. last March, with this man running down the road. Now, I can't prove it, but I suspect he might be heavily methicated. Now, he knocks over some construction cones and drags a few more into the road, but this is just a warm-up for his grand project. Even as a good Samaritan removes his earlier work, our subject makes his way up to Northwest 83rd, where he drags cones and barriers into the road, blocking the entirety of 15th Avenue Northwest. 15th Northwest is the major north-south route running through Northwest Seattle, so this is a major road to block. Here's a zoomed-in view from almost 40 minutes later, showing confused early morning commuters trying to navigate this unexpected obstacle. Finally, almost an hour after the road was blocked, an official-looking truck pulls up and a pair of heroes clear the roadway. Now, I gave a quiz at the end of the last video to see how many people could count the number of flipped-over cars, and a whole bunch of you came up with the correct answer, 7. Big shout out to Katarina Clark, who was the fastest comment with the correct answer. Zombie Edibles and Ms. Fly on Wall also got it right. And finally, shout out to Laura West 9436, who explained why she and a handful of other people went with 8 as their guess. I was initially confused why people were coming up with 8, so this helped me clear it up. Bonus clip, what? Here's the Space Needle showcasing its anti-drone weapon system and disrupting a drone swarm that was trying to impersonate it. Now, this is obviously the New Year's Eve show 2024, which I captured part of on traffic camera. That is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching and commenting. I really appreciate it. Wishing all of you a very happy holidays,
and I will see you again in the new year.